welcome to the Learning Ladders. Today I'm doing a flip through of Through the Eyes of a Veterinarian. This is the Campfire Curriculums unit. We've added this to our Friday unit study for animals, and I'm so excited to get this. When I saw that I asked them a couple of months ago whether they were doing one, and it's all voted on, so all their customers get to vote on what unit they do next, and they said, oh yeah, probably at some point during 2021 we'll have it released. There'll be enough votes for it. And sure enough, it finally happened, and I'm so excited. What I really like about the Campfire Curriculum units are they're actually written with the help of a professional, so they actually shadow someone in that job description, so in this case a veterinarian, to help them complete the curriculum. I really like that because obviously you're getting first-hand knowledge and experience. And the other thing I really like is that when you actually purchase it, you get all the levels. So you get pre-reader, you get elementary, you get middle school, high school, and adult. And adult is for you as the teacher guide. And I just think that that's fantastic. So they're all in one download, and then you can just pick obviously which one you want to do and which level, and then you can use it again. So for example, when my daughter goes into middle school, then we can use it again, and when she goes into high school, we can use it again. And they just have extra little bits to it to make it more advanced. And in the back of the actual unit as well, they do have what they call their core, I think it's core connections, where they show you how you can maths and language arts and other things are integrated into it, so that you can see how you've learnt different subjects and tied it all in through. So they make a point of saying that there's no teacher's manual, everybody gets their own journal. However, I am using my adult one as the teacher manual, if you like, and reading that out to her, but only the text in black. So you'll notice when I do the flip through, there's some text in black and then there's some text in other colours, and then that colour text is specific to the age of the journal that it's for. So in my adult journal there will be more in-depth information, but I will just read out the text in black to her. But I like it as well because I feel like I can get involved too, and I can do the unit with her. Obviously I do normally do the units with her, but I mean in terms of I can actually get involved, and I've got my own little journal and everything else, and I just think that just makes it more fun. It makes it family style. And there are different options, so you can do the most basic, which is just to complete the lesson but skip any sections that say skip if you want, and then there's the middle of the road where you can actually do extra from it, and then there's the all-in where you get to tie in those core connections, which is what we discussed before about how language arts and history and other subjects are brought into it. They also say you should set a timer for 30 minutes and then stop. And we found with the first lesson that was more than enough time, but I think the second lesson is a bit more in depth, and they say stop after 30 minutes. Don't think, oh, you have to complete the whole lesson at one time. So we're due to start our second lesson this week. So I don't think we'll complete that in one Friday, but that's absolutely fine because it's only got 12 lessons in it. So that'll be absolutely fine for us to carry that over. Now it does give you a little guide here of some additional items that you might not have to hand if you'd like to get them. And then they also give you some information here about how you can fact check their information throughout that they've put in. I think that's great. Another thing I super like is they've put YouTube videos to go with it, which I absolutely love. My daughter really loves that additional visual aspect to her learning. But what you'll often find in curriculums is they'll just put the link, which is great, the hyperlink or whatever, and you can just click on it. But if you're not using it on a tablet and you're actually printing it out, and it means that then you have to, in my case, I have to have my computer out as well as my guide. But they actually put, rather than just the hyperlink, they actually put the whole title of the YouTube link in. So if you wanted to, you could just type it into your phone or your tablet rather than having to have everything open. So I really like that. It's just an extra thing that they've offered. Okay, so let's get into it. So there are 12 lessons, 12 units in this one. So we've got Intro to the Vet World, Equine Medicine, Cats and Dogs, General Practice 1 and 2, another Equine Medicine, the Goat, Labs, Weight Loss, Exotic Animals, and Llama Time. And it says there's also a bonus lesson in the appendix. So, as I said, you read the text in black, and then each journal has additional text in a different font that's relative to their age. So obviously with mine being the adult version, it's got a bit more information on here. So we're just doing an intro, we're talking about the speciality of the particular vet, and then I already completed this because we did this lesson already, but we had to read this and then write what speciality of vet would take part in that, or which speciality were they referring to, what type of vet would you be if you worked in that scenario. And that was a really fun little intro to it. Then they also mentioned that there is a vet journal option. Now there is in the back, which I'll show you as we get towards the end, a little veterinary printable that you can use as your vet journal that you'll make as you go throughout. But you could also use a notebook or something along those lines should you want to. And then they always tell you to not forget to check the appendix for core connections. So in this case, you would scroll to the back of your appendix, and then it tells you maths, some spelling words that you could use, some history, geography, social studies, and some language arts that we cover in the actual unit. So it's not a different assignment or anything else, it's just basically showing you how everything's connected. So what in that particular lesson, or generally you could think need for maths for this type of profession, then things in language arts. So in this case they're explaining to you about bedside manner and using words with compassion and everything else. So it's not that they're actually giving you additional activities in the back to do for language arts, they're just explaining how language arts comes into the actual unit, if that makes sense, if I've explained it well enough. And then here's the little journal that they have at the back that you can fill out, or you can make your own. So in lesson 2 we are talking about equine medicine, and again it tells you to set your timer for 20 to 30 minutes and then turn it off, and just go back another time, and it's told in a story format, which is what I really like. So we're going to hear all about Lily and Evan, and they're spending the day with a real life veterinarian. We've got a little journal prompt here. So write it down in your journal under questions and history, along with any symptoms you're observing. What are some questions you could ask about the illness? Join in with the doctor, an activity pause. Some more journal fun. So we'll write down all signs or symptoms and a diagnosis. There's a little diagram here as well. And you would only read the text in black. The red is just for you, as in the adult journal, but if you've got the elementary, it'll be slightly different. So we're talking about capillary refill response in here. Get to check your own. There is a faith talk and think tank. And then we go to lessons learned. So this list shows just how much you've learned or were taught, maybe without realizing in this lesson alone. So it covers all these different things. Any extra notes you want to make. And then we're on to lesson 3, cats and dogs. So we're pausing here for some YouTube videos. Go here to see some cute barking and meowing noises to get you in the mindset of what a vet office might sound like. That sounds really fun. Although we've got dogs and cats, so we don't need to worry about what a vet office would sound like. We have a good indication already, but for someone who doesn't have pets, that would be great or really helpful. So we've got some more journaling here. I love all the little illustrations, really cute. So we've got some optional activity breaks that you could do. So we're talking about, can you rotate your foot in a circle? Testing the ankle's range of motion. Can you move your arm out and in at the elbow? Can you bend your neck in a full circle? So just some little fun activities here. Do you think based on the symptoms that dental issues are a problem? So basically you're getting to be the vet, which I think is really fun and goes great along with our Friday unit study on animals and veterinary medicine. So want to learn more about the dental anatomy and some warning signs, they've got a link here that you could check out. The oldest and largest vet school in the UK, so that's fun. Cat spotlight, but again this is in red, so this is specifically for you as the adult. Well, you as in the adult level journal. Lesson 4 is general practice. We've got some pause for reflection. So talking about digestive processes. And we've got some more diagrams here talking about temperature, pulse and respiration. Some fun facts. I really like those as well because it's often things that you would never know or think about necessarily very often. Back to the story. It's cute little illustrations. We've got another faith talk and think tank, and then back to our lessons learned. And I'm just going to skip to another lesson. So I skipped to lesson 12. So this one's the llama and the sheep. Got an activity time. So we've got an activity here using a stuffed toy, and we're pretending it's got a wound and using a shaver and everything else. That is going to be so fun. Oh, talking about an abscess. Okay, so now this is the elementary part of the actual curriculum, the elementary level. So I'll just give you a flip through of a couple of these. So this is lesson 2. So it starts out, it's very similar, but not exactly the same, because obviously it depends what the red font is and everything else. So we're talking about stethoscope. Now their red font is quite brief compared to, say, for example, mine in the adult level. And it's giving some additional information for them. It's funny because in the pre-reader, we've actually got some really cute, fun activities that I think I might actually print off some of them too, that you could do with the elementary that you really love, or if you've got a pre-reader and an elementary, you could obviously tie them together. But I think some of the things in there are really fun, and my daughter might still like them, so I might print a couple of those out. So there we've got the YouTube video again to see the animal sounds. So there's definitely not as much red text in this one, and if there is, it's a lot shorter. So here we're talking about dental disease, gingivitis. I think it was more specific in my version, but this is what a briefer explanation in the elementary level. Okay, so you've still got your reflection time. Back to the story about Sprite. So her little pulse and temperature page is slightly different than mine one. And it gives you their rates. I just really like it. I think it's fantastic. One of the things that I noticed in the pre-reader was they had a bunch of x-rays with like little objects in, which I thought was really fun that you could print off. So I think I might print some of those off where you could find, what was causing the problem on the x-ray. I think my daughter would still find that fun. But yes, it looks really fun. So learn how to tape down an IV catheter in a dog, and it's got a little experiment that you can do, a little activity. So using a straw and some painter's tape. I've got equine medicine, suit up for surgery, so you can watch a video of them getting ready. The veterinarian getting ready with their gloves and everything else. We've got another activity here. Fill out your journal pages, and you have the same journal page at the back in the appendix of the elementary level as you do with the adult version, or you can obviously use a notebook, but we're going to use their journals because they look really fun. This is the goat one, again, lovely illustrations. So this is our first unit. We've never used any of Campfire curriculum units before, so I'm really excited to give them a shot. So again, your vocabulary is highlighted too. And see what we think, particularly because it was veterinarian. That's why I really wanted to do it. So we're using a chicken here to inject medication under the fatty tissue. That would be really interesting. I think that would be such a fun one to do. So we'll definitely be doing that one. My daughter will probably really enjoy giving an injection into a chicken. There we go. Got another video here. This one is egg counting method. So we're doing a flotation experiment. And I love all the little illustrations of the tools and everything else. Guide to internal parasites. It looks fantastic, so I'm really excited. The horse that won't eat. So we've got a little story, and then we're talking about the process of eating. We've got our journal where we can discuss symptoms and everything else, and she can make a diagnosis. floating teeth. So yes, I'm really excited. We loved the first lesson, the first one we did. It was really fun. We're doing, as I said, lesson 2 this time. So I'll do a review at the end and let you know how we liked it. But I think it's so fun, and I love the fact that they shadow someone in that profession to help them write the unit. I think that's just fantastic because it really makes you feel like you're getting a good, look through, and I guess it's literally seeing through the eyes of what a veterinarian would do every day. Obviously on a condensed way because they've only got 12 lessons in there, but I'm just really excited. I can't wait to do this, and she really enjoyed the first lesson. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in our next video. Take care. Bye for now.